If you're a hero of Aden, you're going to want to listen up. 2026 isn't just another year. It's shaping up to be a total rebirth. A massive wave of change is about to sweep across the entire Lineage II universe, and we're going to break down exactly what that means for you.
And hey, the developers are not being subtle about this. This quote right here from the Lineage II team says it all: a new season for the world of Aden. Yeah, this is so much more than just another content drop. They're basically telling us this is a fundamental fresh start. And this isn't just happening in one little corner at the game either. It doesn't matter if you're playing Revolution, Essence, or the good old classic PC version. These updates are rolling out everywhere, creating a tidal wave of change that's going to affect pretty much every single player.
So today, we're diving into the 4 big pillars of this transformation. First, we'll get into the massive class rebalance and ask that all-important question: is your main still going to be top tier? Then, we'll uncover the new paths to power and the awesome gear you'll be hunting. After that, we'll face the evolving battlefields and their new threats. And finally, we'll see how the devs are building a stronger, more vibrant community for everyone.
Okay, let's get right into it. First up is the topic that impacts every single one of us: the great class rebalance. The developers are taking a sledgehammer to the old meta, and believe me, nothing is going to be the same. This is the question on everybody's mind, right? With all these changes coming, is your go-to class going to get that much-needed boost, or are the reigning champions finally going to be brought back in line? And here is all the proof you need that the developers are listening. Let's talk about the Death Knight in Revolution. The community has been saying forever that its survivability is just out of control, making fights super one-sided. So what's the solution? They're directly adjusting the duration of its invincibility skill. This shows they're not afraid to make those surgical strikes to fix what's imbalanced.
Now, on the flip side, classes that have been underperforming are getting some serious love. Archers are a perfect example. They had that lock-on skill that increased damage taken by a massive 30%, a huge risk. Well, now that penalty is down to a much more reasonable 10%, and the skill even gives you bonus attack and defense. This is a fantastic way to make more playstyles feel viable.
And this isn't just about tweaking 1 or 2 classes. I mean, look at the sheer scope of these changes. Templars are getting offensive power, so they're not just shield bots anymore. Mages are getting a serious damage boost. Bards now have real strategic choices between offense and defense. Even Doombringers are getting tweaked for better performance. The big takeaway here is that so many roles are being redefined. This is a complete meta refresh from the ground up.
So what's the philosophy behind all this? It's pretty simple. They want to create a fairer, more diverse battlefield. The devs have flat out said they want to move away from a meta where only a few specific classes dominate every single fight.
Of course, a new meta doesn't mean much if you don't have new goals. With these class changes, we're also getting a complete overhaul of how we get stronger, giving every single player some awesome new epic gear to hunt down.
One of the big new systems is the Soul Link slot enhancement in Revolution. Now, instead of constantly enhancing the individual souls you equip, you actually enhance the gear slot itself. This is such a fantastic quality of life change. It's a permanent power boost that works no matter which soul you slot in, which makes progression feel way more intuitive and a lot less punishing.
But it's not just about convenient new systems. The real thrill of the hunt is back. Brand new, top-tier legendary items are entering the world, and there's one in particular that is about to become the ultimate prize.
And the crown jewel of this new loot table is Valaka's Ring. This thing is not just a stat stick. It boosts your attack, your crit damage, and your skill power. But the real prize comes at a +5 enchant, where it can grant you a powerful PvP damage buff whenever you attack. This is, without a doubt, the new must-have item for any serious PvP player.
So, your progression path for 2026 is pretty clear. First, you master all the changes to your favorite class. Second, you use new systems like Soul Link to build up your base power. Third, you dive into content like the new item collections for more stat boosts. And finally, you hunt down that ultimate prize, the Valaka's Ring. This isn't just a gear grind anymore, it's a clear roadmap to becoming a legend.
Okay, so new powers demand new challenges, right? Next up, we're looking at how the world of Aden itself is changing, with brand new threats to conquer and some really key improvements to the player experience.
And as you can see, a shadow is falling over Aden. In the game's lore, this is a huge deal. It signals the arrival of a new world boss, who's basically just the opening act for an even bigger threat that's still to come.
That new world boss is Dracovar, a servant of the water dragon Foforion.
But that's just the start. Players can also look forward to a massive 50-player epic raid against Fosforian himself, and for smaller groups, there are new daily 5-player boss fights. So whether you're in a huge raiding guild or just have a small group of friends, there are brand new dangers waiting for you to conquer.
And you know, the world isn't just getting harder, it's getting smarter. The developers are really focusing on reducing those tedious grinds. Take the Holy Artifact Defense content. Instead of manually slogging through 50 waves, they're adding a skip feature for the easy parts and an option to end your run early. This shows a real respect for players' time, making the content feel more rewarding and way less of a chore.
But maybe the most important change to the battlefield isn't a new monster, but the players themselves. A thriving MMO absolutely needs a thriving community, and the developers are taking direct steps to make sure that's what we have.
To make that happen, the Ixia and Askos servers are being combined into one big mega server. The goal here is simple: create a more lively and competitive world where towns actually feel populated, finding a group is easy, and world PvP is always just around the corner.
So what does all this mean for the future of Aden? Well, when you take a step back and look at the big picture, this is so much more than just another patch. This is a powerful declaration of intent from the developers.
So here are the 4 key things to remember. 1. The developers are actively listening to us. 2. The combat meta is being completely reset for better balance. 3. You have clear, new ways to get powerful. And 4. The world itself is becoming more vibrant and rewarding for everyone. All of these changes together send one clear signal. This is a massive investment in the long-term health and future of Lineage II. For both new and returning players, it's a statement that the world of Aden is very much alive and has a long, exciting road ahead of it.
So you've got new balance, new bosses, and a stronger community. The stage is officially set for a new era in Aden. With this world reborn, the only question left is, how will you leave your mark?